Hi, spring is soon coming in, and this is the book review that I will be doing for you all. Uh, so this book review here uh is coming to you all. This is going to be on the Read So Lit hashtag. So the first book I am going to discuss, I want to make sure y'all get the best forward lighting of it. This is Miss Jones. I've been trying to get this book for close to a decade. As a matter of fact, it took me, I had the book for 4 years before I finally read it. I found it at the dietary, and I'm like, oh, Miss Jones! I remember my baby in my arms, going to the store through a very hard time with an infant about 6 months old. And it's Have You Met Miss Jones? And I saw it at the dietary, and it's totally woke my world up as I was traveling up and down. This book here, I would say yes. Yes, do read this book here. As I mentioned on my previous booktube videos, I won't be doing the star system because everybody have their own interpretation of what they're looking for and what, rate of stars. Sometimes you read some people, they say 5 stars, and you're like, okay, what was the star of this book? And in some book that be 1 star, you're like, oh yeah, nah, you should have upped this up a few stars. So I'm not gonna do the stars, but I will say this book is a go ahead. And I will compare being that she's a New York DJ. She's had the beef with oh gosh, that was more than beef. That was beef, pork, and missiles with Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams with Whitney Houston. Various other people. They also mentioned about what's the guy name? I did not know who he was. Dougie Fresh is mentioned up in here. Busta Rhymes is mentioned up in here. One thing I do have to say, and I have to compare this book as I attended the interview session, author meet and greet with Ashley Bryan. That is also from New York. And it never fails. Even with people that I personally know from New York. It's like all their lives is very consensuous. Except LL Cool J. I would have to tell you now, LL Cool J was him and Clara Ward book could go in the same bin. It could go in the same, what's the word? I don't mean the word trash can, but they books are, they need to be read, but they go in the same category. Woo! It's so similar. Like, I mean, whew. But let me get back to most New York. The average New York. Even though she lived in what was the projects or a low income area, she still had some good educational opportunities, and she is a little older than me because she had that Where I Wanna Be Boy when I was an adolescent. Where I Wanna Be Boy. But as I have observed, like as I'm speaking about the author Ashley Bryan and just comparing them, and just even the people that I personally know from New York, they have very collective lives. Like to say they grew up in the projects is not like growing up in the projects or in, somewhere like New Orleans or a side town or the deep woods or even Baton Rouge or Shreveport. It's nothing like that. They at least be having educational opportunities. It seemed like they always had a meal every day. They may have had not a perfect family life, Like they wanted more of that. And New York people like, oh, well, we don't get enough education, but from the way this book written and from the details of what they had available in programs, it seemed as though you had some education opportunities to graduate and attend to in the area. Now it just seemed like it had so much stuff there that you had to really decide between bad and good. But at least with the bad, you had a lot of good. Compared from coming from the bayou. This book I would really recommend you to read. She was involved in a lot of controversy once she got grown. But her childhood it's consensuous. I'm gonna say that. This is very similar to most of the other New York celebrities that I have read and personally know. Very, very similar, okay? But definitely read when she got grown and some of the stuff that she had to go through. It's a interesting book. The next book I am going to is Bayou Native, and I am going to definitely do a clips of a portion. So this video is gonna go about 12 minutes. But this is Toya Wright, Priceless Inspirations. I'm just getting to it, and I know this book here came out some years ago. And this book here I got for, it could have been under $1 or something like that. I definitely wanted to read it because a lot of people say, oh, well, you sound like her. And I just have to, definitely compare, with us both being from the Bayou State and so forth like that. This is Lil Wayne's baby mama, and definitely get a more what she's about. And maybe some, even though I have always, been in Louisiana, like once he became famous is once we became aware of her. Well, I'm in the nearby. I'm not directly in that exact concentration of New Orleans, but we would then, we would then a boat, we would then a car ride or whatever you want to call it, feed or whatever. But the notes I have from this here from Toya Wright, I really was under the impression of with her being a pregnant teenager. I feel most pregnant teenagers like, okay, you didn't think me. I was like, okay, if you don't have a steady living and your family ain't treat you right, like why would you get pregnant as a teenager? Like for real, if they not taking care of you, like you think I want to bring my baby around you? But exactly what she went through with her being pregnant as a teenager and what her dad did her and then him needing her so much time later. Oh my goodness. So really we parallel, even though we're parallel like with the pregnancies, what we went through, even though it was two different eras. It's very similar. I was like, oh my goodness, she went through all this here, and he had the money at the time, but after that stuff he said about Black Lives or something, he said, guess he really gotta be extra taught. You gotta extra nag him, and that's what I gathered from this book too. And she is of the aqua sign that have us very similar. And she's of the a deep aqua sign that is supposed to be about nourishing the soul. And they also call it, the sign of death, and also the sign of that relates to feces, and so forth like that. And she does speak about death a lot. And then I had forgot that she did have not her two brothers that passed. She also had another brother that was killed when he went back to New Orleans, very similar to the other two brothers. Cause see, they were staying in Atlanta, and then as soon as they left her, they end up getting they got frustrated. They can't handle that life once they live out their culture. Like the movie with the Wild Things with the girl that's from Louisiana. She had the long name, okay? I can't think of it, but you got an idea what I'm talking about, what the Wild Things are or something like that. But those two brothers weren't the only one of her siblings that were killed. And I had totally forgot about that her other brother had got killed too, that she had took care of. She also speaking about the Hurricane Katrina and famine. She ended up selling her home and stuff. And I definitely wanted to read about that Hurricane Katrina dealing with famine. And that's why I say don't be asking all those extra people trying to get all extra essay theses up into your biz like they can measure you and trying to, okay, well, this and that. Mind your damn business, okay? She speak about, you want to know something? Go read a damn book, okay? Because I cannot stand over the limit. And that's why I have to put a hatchet on them. A hatchet on and in those kind of parties. I really done did that recently. Not recently. Just say I didn't pick up the speed. I've been doing it, but I didn't pick up the speed how it's going. But I definitely want to read a portion of that. So in here, she speak about stuff when people say, when I have people from the motherland get there and tell me like, ooh, well, y'all was on top of the roof, and it be seeming embarrassing to be told about being on top of the roof, and you're like, well, dang, y'all in a third world country, and we used to seeing y'all on Sundays on Feed the Children, and so you thinking that in your head while they telling you all this stuff here, and well, how did the government let y'all stay? But let me tell y'all, and how y'all didn't know. I was reading and I was like, we weren't the only ones, okay? It just ain't just. She said she explained it. I'm gonna say this was the most matching, up to level matching, because some of the reviews say how she used little words and how it just wasn't to the best of writing and stuff like that. But I'm gonna say this here, I could really get there and I could really hand clap on this here. We had heard a little bit about a hurricane warning. We weren't taking it too seriously. When you grow up living on the Gulf Coast, there are hurricane warnings all the time. Most of them didn't amount to anything more serious than some rain and a little wind. I did pay a little more attention when I heard about the evacuation, but then too, I wasn't too worried. There had been several evacuations in recent years, and they hadn't amounted to too much more than some rain and a little wind either. So as Hurricane Katrina blew in and destroyed whole sections of New Orleans, me and friends were mostly hanging out at the hotel pool or were on the beach having fun. I'm sorry to say it now because of all the terrible damage that the storm did and the number of people, some that I knew who lost everything. At the time, we just didn't realize how bad it was going to be. We really hadn't been paying any attention to the news about it. It wasn't until we went to a restaurant and the waiter asked us, "Where you guys from?" And that we really understood just what had happened and how bad it was. New Orleans, we said. I had moved to Atlanta by then, but I still claim New Orleans as home because it's where I grew up and where my family is. Oh my God, the waiter said. Are you here to escape the storm? Is your house okay? That was the first we heard of how bad the situation was. And then, when we turned on the news and we saw it, the vacation was over. We were all on the phones trying to find family and friends scared to death that one of our people had drowned or was trapped in their house or on their roof, waiting for help. Now, many of you all don't know they just had this same incident happen a few months ago. I couldn't stand to watch all those people at the convention center and at the Superdome just sitting there in the heat without food or water. It was terrible. We kept calling and calling. None of the phones were working. I started to get real worried and real scared. Now this here also had the same stuff here happened a few months, MOTHS ago, okay? And see, when people, like I'm telling you, like 4 or 5 years ago when people saw me and they were like, well, hey, you 4, 5, 9 years ago when I went to other places, and they were like, well, hey, you, and I'm just like, how y'all didn't leave? Why y'all don't leave? Well, I'm here now. Why you didn't leave out? We were driving ourselves crazy, worrying ourselves sick, and watching the news reports of one sad story after another. I'm going to stop it there because a big time controversial celebrity does come up into it, so I don't want to spoil it at all. But a controversial celebrity, it comes up in this book here. But what you gotta deal with. I'm telling you, that time after Hurricane Katrina, oh, talk about pull some horns off of a goat. Whoo! Y'all stay tuned for that composition. I could be contributing something up in that project. Somebody might have already wrote it. That I could be like, hey. Ooh, you got that tattoo. What was on my mind? So, and I do want to speak about the scale balance. Oh, what she was saying in the book, that I kind of can understand what people were saying and what I would disagree with her on in this book here. I also, but okay, now you tell someone if you're going through domestic abuse, domestic violence or sexual abuse. But she also spoke how she went to someone for help about a situation that somebody was going through, and how they told what she said that rose and stretched up the mess. So it's like, come on, you gotta apply street sense to even those other two serious felony matters, just like when you went consoled and somebody because a friend was going through something. So it's like, come on, scale street balance, okay? Then she spoke about the friend who wanted her man to treat her as Lil Wayne did her and her child Reginae. I wouldn't be too upset about the copy ghost style. I kind of wouldn't. It is annoying, but as long as they're doing that with their man and not trying to do that with mine, I guess I would be a little bit more tolerable of it, but it is annoying. It is very annoying, but everybody wants to be treated right, and when they see example of it, they want that example. But I wouldn't been as annoyed. I would have been annoyed, but I ain't gonna say I would have been kind of annoyed, but I would have been tolerable of it. So she spoke about her different friends, and I could tell one of her friends, oh God, that's something when you have friends that you do stuff for, but they don't. And sometimes you have to balance out in your life, and that maybe could have been me. Like, you always go after friends that you may not feel valuable with, friends that are more independent, because you be like, okay, well, I don't feel if I get anything for them and they get me good stuff, that they may not value what I get for them, because I just may not have it, or they may not appreciate it, or I just may just get the wrong thing. But she spoke about about different friends that she had. This book here is really more for an adolescent and more for those that are in the deep south, really. I seen the different review channels, and they were speaking about, oh well, her book was challenging, she used small words or whatever. Like, it wasn't challenging. That's what they said. It wasn't challenging, and why her words was this and that. But come on, a lot of people don't have book sense, so she wrote a book, so they need to read a book. They need to start, and if this is a book that they start reading, they encourage them to read more books. I'm gonna get the 5 stars for them to read more books, okay? So you all get there, and this is the BookTube book reviews, and it's just gonna be on the hashtag ReadSoLit. I will talk to you all later.